Tim Lynch. So the use case there was patients with Parkinson's who have freezing of gait. And in that case, so in that freezing of gait situation so Parkinsonian gait is, kind of like this. And people who have freezing of gait, essentially when they come to a door, they can't cross the door threshold. They start freezing. They have this kind of shuffling gait. But they could be riding a bicycle, no problem. So there's some situations that this happens. And so another part of this Verve project was to design a game for them. And in that situation, we ended up using the WeBalance board as well, but they were actually stepping on it like this. And they were going through a corridor that had doors and things like that. And stepping like this for a while is really tiring. It was really tiresome. They did have, some positive results out of that study, but we tried it for some time. We were thinking about it, and then we decided that for 40 minutes it's really hard. Yeah. Yeah?
I wonder why you didn't include any data from the balance board if you were actually researching the imbalance. So you were getting a lot of data from the, neuropsychological test.
Yes.
And then you were analyzing and making an analysis on the cognitive board. And then you were claiming the balance improvement. So
I didn't say their balance improved. I said their balance confidence improved. So we measured their perceived balance confidence. How confident are you that you're not going to lose your balance when you do X, Y, and Z? So, and that links into fear of falling. So the mini best was a measure of their balance control. So there are some tests where you have to lean, and then I put my arm here, you're asked to lean, and then I let go of my arm, and then you make a step, and I score it from 0, 1 to 2. And there's a bunch of components. You have to walk back and forth. It's a standardized test. We didn't see any improvements on that mini best, but people scored highly to begin with. So maybe there was, but I understand we could have analyzed their balance board data. I think basically the answer to that question is that we were coming into the project with our own backgrounds. And my background is in visual perception, and Fiona Newell's background is in multisensory processing and interest in spatial cognition. So this was a function of who we were and where had I done sort of a more balance related studies before, I probably would have had more of those tasks. I did have a task where they were standing on the balance board and doing another cognitive task. But when I left the project, the data were still being collected. And then I started another postdoc. And so those data are waiting for me. Yeah.
I was interested to hear about some structural imaging analysis. And I don't know do you know if the multisensory research is open access?
I can send you a copy.
Yeah, well, for sure. But I wonder if there's one or two take-home points that you might be able to inform us about, because in particular, what would interest me is you may know of colleagues at McGill who are looking at spatial cognition strategies and the trade-off between the hippocampus
Yes.
and the aquatic is.
Yeah.
In terms of ego and allocentric strategies, and that is something that would really interest me if you
Yes. So Neve had a task that looked into whether people switch their strategy from egocentric to allocentric. So older adults. I didn't talk about it because it's her topic and I'm not too well versed on it. But from what I could see is that so older adults overall are using egocentric strategies to navigate, and having the top-down view map basically allows you to use an allocentric strategy. So we thought having the top-down view in the city might get them to learn to use the allocentric strategy more. And from what I could tell, only the non-fallers actually improved slightly, switched basically from egocentric to allocentric, a proportion of the participants, and virtually none of the faller group switched. In terms of the grade,
I was just going to ask why.
I think that it, from what I know from the literature, it's quite difficult to improve spatial navigation in older adults with allocentric. I mean, I don't know. I really don't. There's a lot of research that's being done in that area, and I'm not well read up on it. So
Yeah, there's an interaction with sex too, right? So you mostly had older women who
that's another. Yeah, that's a very
most
good point.
challenged with spatial navigation.
That's a very good point. That it could, but I think it has to do with also like neurogenesis and I don't know. But in terms of the structural changes with the intervention, as far as I remember from the article, there was no changes in the hippocampus or caudate nucleus. We found changes in the precentral gyrus, but not in the hippocampus, which is, I think, where the hypothesis was.
Yeah,
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah. But I can send you the article.
Nobody has a subscription to that journal.
I'll get on the editors on that, right? Alright, well, maybe what we can do is we can thank you again for your talk, and we can continue discussing over coffee and goodies that are over there. So thanks again for coming.
Thank you.